guys, I just received this package like 20 minutes ago and I'm pretty happy to open this finally. I'm a collector of video game consoles and the only thing I never really was interested in so far was Sega. I found some seller on eBay that was selling a Sega Genesis for a reasonable price. A lot of them are way overpriced, so I was following some auctions for a couple of weeks. And here was one guy who was selling a Sega Genesis console with 15 games for 90 bucks. And it's not just only one console, but there are two consoles and both should be in working condition. So let's break into this. I'm pretty excited because I actually never had a Sega console before. I don't know if we need any refurbishment on these consoles. The pictures were looking pretty good. They are very clean without major scratches and stuff. Also, the seller stated that they are both in working condition and they come with the cables. So let's have a look. Also, the seller was pretty kind. He wrote me an email saying that I should unpack this carefully to not throw away any of the smaller parts. So that's a pretty nice pack though, which is already a good sign. It's all paper. Okay, I suppose here are the two consoles, and let's start with the small stuff here. Alright, games, good. What do we have here? Alright, we have Terminator 2. Well, you guys probably know the Nintendo nerd, the angry Nintendo nerd, so you probably heard about this game. It's not one of the best, but it's right. Nice. Baseball. I never saw those cartridges. You know, I'm from Europe, so I think the games in Europe had a little different design. I don't know. And also, we don't. Well, there are a lot of games that never came out in Europe, so pretty looking forward to trying them out. We have here Batman Returns, right? Yeah, Batman Returns. Awesome. Okay. Some more games. Next. Oh, the classic. I remember I was playing this at my friend's house when I was a child, and I loved Sonic. I don't know. I also loved Super Mario, but you know, when you're young, you have to decide. When you have the privilege to, you know, to have the wish to get a console for Christmas or for your birthday, I was decided to get me a Nintendo at the time. But I always loved Sonic. I don't know. It's a good game. I mean. Man 2. Never heard of that, but I saw them many times on eBay, so it's supposed to be a pretty decent game as well. I will find out. Okay, Madden. Again, one of those yellow topped cartridges. I never saw them in Europe. I don't know if we have them or if they were rare or I don't know. Alright. Let's go for the next package. Or should we continue with the games, or let's continue with the games. NBA Jam, the classic. I mean, that's something I know for sure. Even in Europe we played this all the time. The Genesis 6-pack, Sonic the Hedgehog, Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, Revenge of Shinobi, Collins, it's like Tetris, I think, right? Super Hang-On. I remember playing this on the Atari ST in the time. The Lion King. I have this game. I have this game on the Super Nintendo, so I'm pretty looking forward to see how it is on a Sega console. Might be kind of the same thing, but. And the last one. What we have? Alien 3. All right. Feels like just like Christmas actually. Okay, awesome. Sorry, I just kicked the camera. Okay. Alright, so let me guess, this is the power block. Heavy stuff. It is, and it's an original Sega power block, which is pretty cool. I know it doesn't change much if it is a reproduction or something, but this is like the original from the early 90s or late 80s. It says, no, there's no date code on it. But anyway, I mean, even the things are working, I will just, screw everything apart, clean everything nicely with some rubbing alcohol. Suppose these are the hookup cables for the TV. The only thing that is actually missing are the appropriate AV cables. So I think I have to hook them up on a coaxial antenna cable. So as we have two consoles, oh no, this is a game controller. Okay, so this is a copy game controller, non-generic game controller. Okay, this has major scratches, so this is even broken here. Okay, but it's supposed to come with 3 controllers, I think, 2 originals and 1 knockoff. So, well, it's always good to have some of these. I just saw a video yesterday stating that you should never hook those up to a Commodore computer or a Atari ST. When I was young, I always thought like I should get myself a Sega controller so I can play my games on the Atari ST with Sega controllers. But apparently there are some connection issues. There's some bridging. What was it? I think there's one pin which is supposed to be ground on an Atari, and actually when you push one of, I think it's the start or select button, you short out the actual connector on your console or on your computer, which might destroy the whole engine or the whole computer. Okay, that's another hookup cable for the TV. Have here, what could this be? Feels like another game. Is it a game? It is a game. Oh yeah, it is Sonic 2. Awesome. I bet a lot of you guys are just watching the candle in the background and hoping that it catches fire. But it won't. I will have an eye on it. Okay, 2 more controllers. What we have. This is the Sega controller, which is not from the Model 1, but this is from the Model 2, I think, or Model 3 even. But anyways, it's an original Sega controller, which is cool, and I think when I clean those up nicely, they look like brand new later on. They have some minor scratches, but maybe I can polish it out. We'll see. Alright, this is the original controller. Not too many scratches, not too many scratches at all actually, so when I clean those up they should look like brand new. Awesome. Alright, here we have some boxes for some of the games. Sonic the Hedgehog and Sonic 2. Oh, wait, what? There's another... Yeah. There's another Sonic game. Okay, why not? I like. Where was the other one? Sonic 2. Oh, here. Yeah. Okay, so we have 2 Sonic games. Original in the box, which is pretty cool. Like this. Need some space management here. Sonic 2. And there's another Sonic 2. How awesome is that? And it comes with the original instruction manual. Awesome. And Sonic Spinball. Hey, I think I never played that. You might shake your head on me, but you know, as I said, I never had a Sega, and I was not too much into Sega, so. Okay, so we have our 2 consoles left here. Nicely packed, I must say. Ta-da! And here we are. Okay, I have them much bigger in memory. Or maybe is the Master System, the Mega Drive, is this bigger? No, it can't be. It's the same. And by the way, it's the high definition graphics version, which is, I think, the first Genesis that came out in the late 80s. It's not the second version. There's a version where it's just black, and they swapped some chips around on the motherboard. So this one has the original first motherboard the Sega Genesis ever had, with a Yamaha sound chip on it. But I thought, when I get a Genesis, I want to have the original one. Okay, well, this needs a heavy cleanup, but well, there are not too many scratches. I mean, there are, but it should be fine. Let's have a look on the second one. And ta-da! The second one. Oh yeah, this is even cleaner and has even less scratches. Pretty cool. And they also both still have this this thing on. I saw a lot of consoles there where this was missing. Probably people that have the Sega CD, and you know, they threw this away or they lost it. And well, this is a nice Christmas. Okay, guys, I will clean up a little bit, and I will start, I think, with this one, tearing this down, cleaning this up, and so I see you in a minute. Alright, so let's get started. Let's open this thing up. You know, I don't know why, but I really love to take things like this apart and give this a nice wash with soapy water, and you can see how all the dirt washes off and it looks like 20 years ago. I don't know, it's just a thing I have. Use some sticky tape. I stick the screws on there, so keep them separated. Okay, there we go. I suppose we take off this little knob first. Aren't we? I don't want to break anything. No, we can keep it on. Okay, good. So we have this little LED, which is just bended in place. This is weird. But anyway, I will try to... This seems to be a connector, isn't it? I saw a video last time of a guy, he just cut through them to open it. But I would not do this. I want to keep it in an original state. Maybe it's easier when I take this off from here. Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, I suppose the LED might be washable. I don't think that does anything to it. So, I should get me a bin where I put the pieces in. I need to wash it. I will use the cardboard box that it came with. I can see we still have some Loctite on this screw here, which means this console was never been opened before. And I'm a little bit worried to break this seal. Well, but if I want to clean it, I have to, so yeah, I have to break the seal. Maybe I can put some new Loctite on it later on, but for now I need to break this open. Let's take out all the screws that belongs to the AV shielding. Put these on this side. They're a little bit shorter. What is this? Some insects. This was a ladybug. Okay, so probably this is one of the last. It's a strange sized Phillips screw. It is a Phillips screw, but it has a weird size, so none of my bits here are really going in there. Maybe it's the Loctite that avoids it, but I don't want to force it too much, but there we go. Okay, awesome. The actual Loctite is still on the screw, so I could theoretically just screw this back in as is. There we go. Alright, the metal sheeting. The motherboard is very clean. IC BDM5 Sega. Can I spot? There is the Yamaha chip, so it actually is the original Genesis console. Okay, so what I do next is I want to get out the whole motherboard so I can cleanse the underside of this. Yeah, I see there's a screw underneath the mini jack. There we go. Let's see, why is this not coming out? There must be another screw somewhere. I don't know if it's clicked in place. I maybe should watch a video about it first. I really don't want to break anything. I think I will go and do that. And then I will be back in a minute. Okay, so it's way simpler than I thought, and it's quite genius, and a lot of you. There is another ladybug. Started asking myself if this console comes from iDubbbz or something. Yeah, it's easy and genius. Sure, those screws have to be removed, which is supporting the cartridge slot, which is a nice move from Sega, because this is the part that gets most stress due to the loading the cartridges in. If I remember correct, the Nintendo Entertainment System has a lot of problems with the actual cartridge slot, with broken contacts and stuff. So this definitely might be a better way of doing it. There we go. This side is out, and this side is out as well. Okay, there we go. Wiggle it out, as they said. Okay, so there we go. Cheeto dust? We will never know. Okay, I will clean this up with some alcohol later on. I will first do the housing. So I put this on a rubber mat, just in case, because on the pictures on eBay, he hooked up the consoles, so they have been powered up some days ago. So I don't know if, if there are any capacitors that are keeping the charge over a longer time. Okay, so I got me some isopropyl alcohol and some Q-tips, and I will clean the motherboard up a little bit. I mean, it is quite clean. There is not that much that I have to really pass over, but see, even this little PCB says Sega on it. Quite a nice touch. By the way, I'm still interested one day to also get me a Atari Lynx console. Those are all the things when I was young. I saw them in some catalogs and they were just way too expensive. Even combining Christmas and my birthday would still be not enough for getting one of those. So, and nowadays you can find them sometimes, but the prices are going up for now, I think, especially on the Atari stuff. I recently tried to get me a new Atari mouse, currently selling for, I don't know, like $40 or something. So this seems to be Flux, old 90s Flux. Leave most of it on there, but try to remove some of it. So I was thinking to myself, I only have a flat TV, and I thought to play this on in the real aspect as well, I should get me an old CRT TV. So I was thinking, it is 4 o'clock now. Maybe I can quickly get to a local Goodwill store and see if they have a cheap CRT TV. Okay, so it looks pretty clean now. Should be okay, I think. Let's get this thing back in its housing. So we have this, and then we had this. I think the RF shielding was pretty important in the time. I know that the Atari 2600 also had this very thick shielding around everything to keep everything from interfering. So the only thing is, as I said before, I will put some grease or maybe even some silicone spray. I got me some grease because I just remembered when I was young I had a very simple black and white video camera, and I once wanted to put some grease on the lens, not on the lens but on the mechanical part, because it was not easy to move it. And I put on some WD-40, what ended up to make the lens even worse to manipulate. I think it's because oil on plastic does not really do anything, but maybe even enlarged the surface tension. I don't know. So I would not recommend to use oil. So I got me some lithium grease. You can rather use silicone spray, but I don't have it now, so I'll put on very little bit, just to make it slide. Alright, and here we go. Freshly cleaned Genesis with some minor scratches, but that's okay. Can live with that. This is working fine now. Smooth, very smooth. Awesome. Let's try this thing out. I will hook up the second console and see if it makes the same. Well, this one hums too. So I suppose this is an earth problem. I will open this up again. I will see if somewhere I maybe forgot to bend back one of the shields. Okay, to keep things short, I opened up the console at least 5 more times, measuring through every ground point I could think of. The shielding is nicely grounded to the motherboard, and I really can't find any issue with it. Apparently now I have another issue, and that's the famous black screen. So now it doesn't give me anything. That's not good. So I don't see any corrosion here. No, I can't see anything. There's nothing that got loose on the cartridge slot or something. It seems to be, everything seems to be alright with that. So okay, so it's 4 o'clock in the morning. I did what I could to find out what the problem is. I can't find any real issue. I checked all the contacts, they're all nice and clean. I checked on the cartridge port if there's any broken tracer or something. Everything looks good and seems to be rigid. There is no loose legs or anything on the IC chips, so I really don't know what to do right now. So I think I just go to bed, maybe read the one or other forum comments and see if I can get a new idea what the problem could be. So it is the next morning, and I spent at least 2 more hours in bed reading in forums about problems with the Genesis. Most of the people mentioned that there might be the contacts, especially the contacts of the cartridge port. But as I know that it was working before, I at least know that that is not the problem. So also a lot of people mentioned the power brick, but as the second console works, that's not an issue neither. So I just got up, I hooked up the system again, and look what happens. It's working. So I don't know what happened. Well, I can think what happened, and it says me that this is definitely a capacitor problem. Also, I read a lot about the PPU and CPU of the system, and they're not known to be very fragile or to, you know, burn out or whatever. So it definitely is a cap problem, a capacitor problem, because the capacitors might be discharged overnight and now the system works again. Now the other thing is the hum. The hum probably comes not straight out of the console, but the hum might come from the power brick, because in the power brick there is another capacitor, and when that goes bad it causes the system to hum, which explains why both of the systems hum. So for now I think I will keep this project on standby, because I need to get the matching caps, and I will probably recap both of the systems, and I will recap the power block or power brick. But at least it works. So it wasn't a Hollywood happy end, but it was a happy end, because I mean both of the consoles work, and as soon as I get the caps and recap the systems, they should work like new. If you want to see me recapping the systems, just let me know in the comments below, so I can see what I can do. And I think that was it for 2018. We are pretty much end of the month. And it was an awesome year. I reached the threshold of 1,000 subscribers, which keeping me pretty motivated of creating new content. I hope you like it, and I hope next year will be even more awesome. I am still about to produce a little short movie together with Paul, which will come out exclusively on my channel on YouTube in January, so I hope you like this. I'm looking pretty much forward to have this video premiered. And yeah, so I think that was it. I wish you some very nice holidays and a very happy new year. And yeah, until then, see ya!